a drive in, well, I was going to say Gary's car, but it's not Gary's car, is it?
No, it's not my car.
It's technically your wife's car.
This is my wife's car. Yeah, quite fortunate though to have a wife that's got a nice car like this I can bomb around in. So, yeah,
this is the Golf Mk7 GTI
Mk7, yeah.
Performance Edition.
Performance DSG, pre-facelift.
Yeah.
So it's not the 7.5.
Performance Edition gives you 10 extra PS, so 230.
Yeah.
350 Newton meters of torque, I think, off the top of my head.
Yeah, you get bigger brakes as well on the Performance Edition.
Bigger discs, isn't it?
Yeah. And this comes with a limited slip diff as well.
Yes, electronically controlled.
Which I think
slip diff
is also performance
option only. Yeah.
Option.
Yeah.
But no, I think this car is absolutely awesome. To be fair.
Supposedly the perfect all-rounder.
Yeah. I mean, me and my wife, we did a trip around Europe last year, did about 3,000 miles, and that included 2 laps of the Nürburgring, Autobahn, Italian bumpy roads of speed, but like literally the whole lot. And this car was spot on. Like I gained a massive load of respect for this, because when we first got it, I was like, yeah, it's nice, it's a bit boring though, the DSG is a bit lifeless, but no, after that trip I've gained a massive respect for the car.
Gear changes are absolutely pin sharp.
Yeah.
Like lightning. They're absolutely
like
stunning, isn't it? It's very lively for just 230 horsepower though.
It is.
Very, very lively.
If I'm going to drive around normally in this car, I'll just have it in auto.
Of course.
But if I want to push on, I flick the gear selector across and go into full manual with the paddles. But at any point you can use the paddles and it will give you... So basically if you kick down with a paddle, it will give you about 30 seconds of full manual mode until you don't use the paddle again, it will go back into auto. But yeah, if you just leave it in normal and you're just cruising around, it's just really easy to drive, just really comfortable, effortless.
The level of comfort is very high. It's a very comfortable car. It feels very planted.
Suspension's nice and supple as well, isn't it?
Supple, isn't it? Yeah.
It's a nice in-between.
This is a lot perkier than I thought it was going to be, this car. Very, very sprightly. It feels like a faster engine than it is. I drove my nearly 300 horsepower Z350Z here, and it doesn't feel as lively as this. This just wants to...
This will keep up with the Z.
Push.
No problem.
Z's got 40 horsepower more.
Yeah, I mean, what's the 0 to 60 on the Z?
6, I think.
I think this is in the 6s, 6.5 or something, I think, for this.
Probably a little bit lighter. This car is 100 kilograms lighter than the previous Golf GTI.
Oh, what, than the Mark 6?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah. They've saved 0.4 of a kilogram redesigning the dashboard.
Yeah?
Yeah. 2.7 kilograms with a new air conditioning pump.
Wow.
Everywhere they've shaved off just a tiny little bit of weight.
I mean, this Mark 7's been around for quite a few years now, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's just about to get replaced, isn't it?
I think it's aged very gracefully.
Still looks good.
And I think this design is quite hard to beat, exterior-wise. And interior, it's just a nice, smooth, sleek dash layout.
It's a very refined interior. It's a very nice place to be.
It's got carpeted door bins, leather armrests on the doors, leather centre armrests.
Very luxurious.
Nice heated leather seats.
It's one of the best interiors I've sat in, really.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, for the price range. But it's the drive which really surprises me because it's so sure-footed.
Oh, it is. I mean, if it was dry,
even in this kind of damp conditions, though, it still feels very confidence-inspiring.
In the dry, you can cock a rear wheel around corners, and it's got quite a playful chassis.
But also the brakes are really sharp as well, but they're not over-assisted like they are in other VWs. Like my wife's Polo, the servo assist is horrible.
Is that like when you initially touch it, it puts you through the windscreen?
Yeah, it doesn't react on how hard you press the pedal. It reacts on how quickly you press the pedal. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. Nothing about it is extreme. So it's not extremely soft, it's not extremely hard, it's just everything is in the middle, so it can cater for all situations.
But it's kind of built to be the perfect all-rounder,
on the road,
it's built to be everything for every person.
Yeah. And I think if that's what you want in a car, you want a hot hatch which can do everything pretty much. This is a perfect car. I mean, even in the wet, if you're in first and second, it will spin the wheels
The i30N is nowhere as nice as this car. Everything about this is just a much higher quality level.
You've driven the i30 now,
Yeah,
so you can
extensively, yeah.
This, I mean, this car always comes out on top, doesn't it, as a best all-round car? So
it's probably, I mean, it's down on horsepower, but it's probably not any slower than the i30N. The ride is better because the i30N is a little bit hard, but this feels a really supple firmness. You know, it is hard, but it's not uncomfortable hard. No, it's not bone shaking hard. No. And whilst the i30N has 2 drive modes, they're both just hard or they're both just hard.
Yeah, hard. So you got a nice 90-degree left-hander here.
And the gearbox is amazing. It's really good.
You're getting hustled by a van though now. We need to address this. See a bit of wheel hop there.
Doesn't have some of the tricks that other cars have. No silly pops and bangs map for the exhaust.
No, it's got none of that. It's just
A bit more sensible.
put your foot down and go. It's got the DSG farts, as they call it, out the back. When you change gear, you get the sort of fart, poppy noise.
Does the exhaust have a valve on it? Does it get loud or no? It's just all...
No, it's just a fully resonated exhaust. Yeah, it sounds alright from the outside, the exhaust. It's not overly loud, but
Very good seats as well, I must say. These are standard as well, though, the seats.
yeah. These are optional leather, but the shape of the seat is standard.
Very comfortable. Hold you quite well as well for a standard seat. You probably weren't free thrown around too much on track. And the Nürburgring, was it holding you?
Yeah, it's keeping me nice and tucked in.
Well, it will spin in second gear.
Yeah.
Wow.
It just pushes on nicely though, doesn't it?
It is. It's just like a warm blanket, this car. It just hugs you really nicely. It just makes you feel so safe.
I can make it a warm blanket if I put the seats on.
Seats on. I bet on a motorway journey this will just be really easy. Because adaptive cruise control is standard, which makes it just motorways just...
I think in the UK you need adaptive. Normal cruise control in the UK is pointless because you're constantly coming off it.
Yeah.
People are always slowing down, speeding up. This car, we've got the bigger infotainment screen as well. It's got gesture control, so if you put your hand up to the screen, it comes up with a list of options at the bottom.
Does that work? Is it useful?
Yeah.
Do you find yourself actually switching on Radio 2 by accident?
No. You have to still touch the buttons physically, the screen physically. Obviously CarPlay, pretty good sound system in here. It's pretty much everything you need.
Oh yeah, whack the sound system on. Let's see what the bass is like.
Smoke some what you don't. No stress.
I don't think I've got any more to say. I've really enjoyed this. This car has actually exceeded my expectations because I love the i30N, and because it's technically it's got more horsepower and it's much cheaper. I think it's £3,000 or £4,000 cheaper.
Yeah.
And it's got a few more tricks. You think, well, how could the Golf GTI live up to that? But it's just a much better package. It just makes you feel nicer about owning it, doesn't it? Because it's just a much more...
It's just a well-rounded...
It's just a much higher quality product, yeah. Where are we going?
Yeah, left.
This has actually exceeded my expectations, this car. I thought it would be a little bit slow, a bit underpowered, but everything about it is so much more luxurious than you think.
Like I say, I love this car. I absolutely love it. Yeah, as a daily...
As a daily,
it's perfect.
I would take this over the i30, yeah.